in the beginning. Before the church, before the law, before the fall. Before everything there was God. Our identity, our story, even our purpose. Everything has to start somewhere. And in the beginning, God.
That's the sin. That's pride. That's, wanting to be like God. Ultimately, let's go down this road for just a second, because ultimately this search, this false search that our world is on now for identity is this. It's to be our own God.
I want to be our own God.
It is what happened at the Tower of Babel. So people didn't learn anything, at least not very quickly. Tower of Babel, they wanted to climb up and be like God up in the skies, climb and reach God.
So I want to hit a point where the serpent tells her that if you take of this, you will be like God.
Yeah.
You can look at that two different ways. You can look at that as though what he is saying is true and God is trying to prevent something, but in reality, that's not it. What he said was an out-and-out lie, the serpent, and she bought it.
Well, here's the thing about
other
this.
than the fact that she would understand or at least perceive good and evil, whereas before that wasn't even part of her.
Yeah, not to that extent. No, it wasn't.
I'm just trying to understand that. I'm trying to understand where that statement where he says that, for God knows that if you eat, you will know good and evil. You will become like God.
Yeah.
What is that implying? And is there any reality, or is that a flat out lie?
Yes. And here's the thing. This is why cults are so effective. This is why cults oftentimes lure people in, who don't know any better, because there's just enough truth mixed in it to resonate, just enough truth mixed in it to say, okay, maybe that is true. So there is some truth. Would they be like God? Well, there's a thread of truth in that, right? They would understand.
In that they would have some understanding of things that God has they didn't have before, but they would not be God.
Oh no, not even remotely.
Yeah, and
that's the blatant lie, in the midst of it. But there's enough truth, that hooks you in. This is part of the reason why we're doing this, because I believe today so many, and I say well-meaning, followers of Jesus Christ, well-meaning people who go to church every single Sunday morning, they pray before meals, they, all of the things that, they quote, they're supposed to do, but well-meaning people are led astray because they're not grounded in truth. And there's just enough half-truth in stuff out there that it sucks them in. It sounds good. It sounds like it, sometimes it even sounds spiritual. You can twist this whole, and I keep coming back to it because I think it's so significant when we speak of the image of God, this false search for identity. You can weave that into something that even sounds spiritual. Oh, God wants you to be who he created you to be. He wants you to be, everything that you want to be. All of this kind of language, it's a lie, with just enough, outside, truth to kind of slip by. And sadly, we've got a multitude of people, both inside and outside of the church that have bought into this stuff. And it's because we're not grounded in who we are. We're not grounded in the reality. We're looking for somebody to blame when in fact it's the reality of the world in which we live.
The beginning matters. Knowing who God is and what he's done, knowing where we come from, helps us understand where he is leading us.